Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round two of SRA Season 4. And it started out, it seems, I know we're coming about a little bit late, has some technical difficulties, but, we finally made it, and I'm here with Josh and Brooker.
Hey everyone.
It's going to be a lot of fun to not be in the driver's seat tonight and just sit back and watch show because yeah, it's a lot of good racing this track.
Yeah, no, I agree. Last night's race was very interesting. Have you raced on the track yet, Brooker?
I have, yeah, I was actually in the Division 1 race last night, so I had my hand at it and, you know, hoping to watch a good race tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And speaking of racing, so we're going straight to qualifying, and we're a little bit late. But about qualifying, this track seems to be very important on qualifying because it seems to be very hard to overtake. Very narrow track.
Yeah, there's a lot of slight camber in corners, a lot of narrowing sections, and overall just not a lot of room to go wheel to wheel here. So there's maybe I'd say one or two overtaking points on the track. Qualifying is definitely I'd say about as important as it's going to be all season here.
And as the silver division is wrapping up their qualifying, it seems as though the top time, if I recall correctly, was a 135.9.
That is
That is correct.
correct.
Which is
Pretty
interesting because I
fast.
believe in D4, I believe he had a 36.2 as the top qualifying time. So
We
you
were
have
talking about that last night. Me and some of the guys that I had in my voice chat for the race. The Division 1 drivers were looking about 36 low to 34 high, and then Division 4 was looking like you said like 36. So Division 2 and Division 3 are very tight. That's 2 seconds splitting two divisions. Pace could be anywhere. Do
yeah,
we
it's
think
looking
we'll
like
see a 34?
Indy 2? I don't know. I mean, the golds have yet to go out. So just a quick recap for anyone who's new to this stream, the number plates that you see right now, the red and the silver, indicate the silver division. So because we have so many drivers participating this season, in each of the four divisions, we have two subdivisions ranked based off their times and how they do. So only the top 20 drivers get classified as gold, and they go out towards the latter half of the qualifying session, so towards the last 15 minutes. And then the first 15 minutes are the red and silver number plates, and then the second 15 minutes you see these white number plates, which are starting about now. So I don't know, Josh. Maybe we will see a 34 because if we can scroll up. I still believe the fastest time coming out of the silvers was a 35.9, so it'll be interesting to see what the gold drivers do.
Definitely, and there's a lot of drivers here at SRA that their division doesn't really represent their pace. Some people have wound up with some unfortunate luck, and due to our rating system that tracks anything and everything from the races, it's pulled them down a little bit. But I would not be surprised to see some D1 competitive lap times here out of this gold division.
So you're saying people sandbag their qualifying to get an easier division, huh?
No. That would take quite a lot of sandbagging. Probably like 10, 15 races worth of sandbagging. It's just not worth it.
You just lift off the gas, a couple corners. I don't know many drivers in D2 outside of the two Honda drivers, part of the Dadmins. Do you guys have any expectations for tonight? You guys are thinking are gonna take a start at the top?
Up towards the top, I'm not sure, but a driver I do have my eye on tonight is definitely going to be Paul A. I've got him over in the pip right now. He has been practicing his absolute tail off for this track, and guy's a walking image of dedication. So I think after some unfortunate incidents last week, he's going to be pushing really hard for a good showing. I mean, that 36.7, I know that that's not his best pace, but I'm sure that the track right now is still fast, which actually, as I look, it's optimum, but he's got more time in that.
Surprised we're 5 minutes in so far, and yet only one D2 Gold has been able to crack the top 10. Is that a worrying trend?
A little bit. Normando was actually able to get a pretty good lap in there. Go up to P5 to um, get in there, but yeah, still your sentiment's still there. Like it's a struggle for some of these D2 Gold drivers at the moment to get up there with the silvers.
A tough adjustment to move into the nighttime as well. I mean, it is morning technically, but to go from sunshine to darkness can throw you off sometimes. I found probably it took me about a lap or two to get myself back into the zone.
Yeah. The glare coming from the 2 hour differences. I actually had to ask people how to turn off that setting because it was so annoying. You know,
Yeah, we'll see that once the race starts.
yeah.
I believe it's turn 10, if I got my numbers correctly. The sun comes straight into your eyes with trees. It's wonderful as a driver.
You know, we had Larique on camera earlier, and I am just bringing him up because he told me in DMs to say some nice things about him, and I'm not. You know, he's eighth. I don't think he's gonna do good. I want him to crash, and I'm just kidding. I want him to do as best as he can. He could do it. I know some people
Mm.
in the Dadmins are not happy with the car.
Well, we'll see what kind of Red Bull powertrain-esque advantage he can try to pull into his grasp. Zandvoort doesn't have the ping advantage that Max was able to use, which I don't know about you guys, but I hope we get that at one point. I want to drive that version of the track.
The F1, the updated one.
Yes, so 2021 turns 3 and turn, I believe it's 14, the last turn, were updated with much higher bankings. And
Oh,
I feel like that would be a lot of fun because the lap record, like race lap record, was set this year on Zandvoort at the GT World Challenge event at a 134.1. And normally I've seen D2 mid pack be around that pace of the lap records. There's some tracks that are just obscenely faster at a different layout than we have.
that is
But that's
insane.
quick. That must mean a lot of pace difference through those turns.
Oh, let me see. I am gonna mess up his name so bad, but Sabshishin. His first name's Brandon. Took pole with a 135.5. So we're getting closer to that 34 mark you were alluding to earlier.
We're definitely seeing the favored or air quotations around this track showing up as the German badge that is Porsche. I believe we had 4 of them at the front of the D1 grid for about D4. We're looking at 3 at the front of D2 right now. Some cars just go well at certain tracks. Say that there's a Porsche stopped on track.
Yeah, I'm just watching the timing screens here, and it seems like a lot of people are struggling a little bit to gain a bunch of time. Um, I mean, if anything, I'm on. Unfortunately, I think it's a French name here, Molyneux, who's up a second and a half on his time. Um, but other than that, it seems like a lot of people are struggling to find time on the track at the moment. Like, if not, they're quite flat on their deltas.
What is your guys' qualifying strat? 'Cause I was talking to some people yesterday, and some people take enough fuel for the full 15 minutes to stay out the entire time, and then some people take like 7 minutes worth of fuel, and then another like 6 minutes after that they come back into the pits, reset.
I normally take about, depending on the track, like the lap length, I'll take 4 or 5 laps worth of fuel, and just kind of run like a little bit of almost, I don't know, I reference it to F1, a little bit of a warm up lap, a little bit of a push lap, just to get a banker lap in, and not take a lap off, but just continue to warm the tires up. I don't know, finding a groove sometimes, especially when we have these morning qualifyings, when you come out to a fast track. Sometimes working into it is a little bit nice. But let's take advice from the guy who finished, I believe, second in Division 1. Or what do you do?
Yeah, for qualifying, I tried to do like 2 stints. Mostly because I'm driving the Porsche at the moment, and it's pretty rough on its tires, especially if I want to extract times from it. So typically for a qualifying session, I'll split it up. I'll do like 3 laps, maybe three push laps, and then typically in that 15 minutes, that's enough to do 3 push, and then come in quickly, get another reload of fuel, and then try to get another 2 laps in or something like that. It's typically how I'll play it. So, but then again, it's a consistency thing too, right? If you feel like doing a full stint, that whole 15 minutes, and just consistently driving to try and improve on your times, then I mean that's a way to go as well.
Interesting. Very
What's your
interesting.
strategy?
Well, I think I'm usually the one that'll take enough fuel for 15 minutes. If I can get into the groove by like 3 laps, then I'll just stay out there until I stop feeling it, and I'll get back in the pits, and then maybe go out if I still have enough time. I've yet to pull the Max Verstappen where you go out there, blitz it in 1 lap, and then you go back in the pits and you just watch.
I don't know if that's happened before in SRA. If anybody's done the old one and done. But I imagine it's quite the feeling.
That's a challenge for the listeners. Everyone, if anyone here can do a 1 and done, we have no prize for you. We'll give you, we'll clap for you and give you a pat on the back.
Shout you
And
out on stream.
Yeah,
But only your race number, not your name.
yeah, just your race number.
On board with Colin Shave, finding about 410 the pip. Brings him up to 6th.
Yeah. Brandon actually here is on a really good lap at the moment. He's just about 4/10 up on his time, so he could take back pole from Kovac.
It is very, very interesting where 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are separated by 6/100ths of a second.
Now that's something.
And Brandon does take P1 there.
Until that lap.
Commentator curse, I guess.
Yeah. We cursed a lot of people out in last week's D3 race. We feel so bad.
Pressure. My only comment, it's what a friend of mine used to tell me, is don't race broadcast on anymore. I don't know.
What do you guys think of this this trend? We saw it in D1 last night, and actually we're kind of seeing it again here with the D2, just with the dominance of the Porsche around Zandvoort. Do we think it's
Eh,
just a car thing, or do we think there's a little bit more to it?
It's very interesting. In D4 last night, it was actually Ferraris that locked out the first two rows, and then Honda's behind them. So I don't know if maybe that's because no one in D4 can drive a Porsche. That may be a reason why, but I am not surprised because I heard rumblings that the Porsche and the Ferrari were strong on this track.
Going Bard with Tufo here. 3/10 up on his time. Still pretty early in the lap, but if he could gain a little bit more time here, I could be looking at a pole in the last 1 minute here.
There's a 3/10 gap between fourth and fifth place.
It's crazy.
And I do want to point out that there are two silver drivers in the top 10. Cranky and Semido. Semido, I apologize if I mess up any last names. I think that's super impressive.
Very.
Great showing from the silver drivers. You know, in all the divisions, they're taking over the leaderboards in qualifying.
Looks like Al just lost a little bit in the last sector here, but still going to improve on his time. Maybe P2 this year.
Normando in the pip is improving at about the same rate. Might be on to catch him up or even jump him.
Latufo missed out on pole by 3/100th of a second.
Wow. I got Normando here.
Oh,
Ooh.
that hurts lap time.
Yeah,
Just that little bit of a stumble.
Yeah,
Lost 6/10.
it's unfortunate. But Alan here. Looks like he's up a little bit on his time. Not sure if he'll be able to pull a pole in the last couple seconds here of his lap, but
Anything could happen.
it's true.
Don't believe so, but he is on pace to move up about 3-4 spots. His current gap.
See if he can hold it together, gain a couple more positions here. Fairly good exit.
Oh, very nice.
Still should get some positions.
Yep.
Very nice.
Very nice. So, as the drivers are lining up, preparing to kick off this race, I want to pick your brains, Brooker and Josh. Number of overtakes that will occur on this track. Over, under 5.
I'm gonna say over because of lap. If you're ignoring lap 1,
Yes, we'll ignore lap 1.
ooh, then it's tough. Because the pace of this field is very tight, and you need quite a disadvantage to make a confident overtake here without it being just a lunge. I'm gonna say under.
Under 5. Brooker, what about you?
I don't know. I think that's also a pretty tough one. I think under 5 as well. We didn't see too many in the Division 1 race, so
I was gonna ask how many happened, if any.
I don't think any happened actually. Now that I think about it, we're talking about
Large chunk.
changes of P1, correct? or did I miss
Just
that?
overtakes in general.
Oh, just overtakes in general. Oh, actually,
It's
I think
track
there's.
overtakes.
I'd say
Yeah,
I
I
think
there's
should
would.
be
probably over
specified. Yellow
that.
flags and
Yeah.
people off. I mean, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, so I would say no, excluding lap one, and then people going off track and you just take their position, just because they messed up. Like I think
I still
genuine
stand on under
overtakes
5.
under 5. Okay. Well, whoa. All right. As the timer drops down, we have 40 seconds to go. Do you guys think this will be a clean lap one?
No.
My money's on yes.
Really?
Oh,
Really? You're saying yes?
I'm confident with the drivers we got. I mean, again, putting some more asterisks into the equation, but clean other than people driving themselves off track, avoiding something. But I don't think we'll see any spinning around or T-bones, genuine car accidents. These are the cream of the crop here.
That's fair.
I'd say that because D2 is the people that are chasing down everybody in D1 because they want to get up to the top.
That's very fair.
D1, they're just chasing you, broker.
No. We were all
Who,
chasing Cassis last night. It was
I was gonna say who are the top drivers right now in D1?
honestly, it's probably so track dependent and car dependent. Um, like
It's a handful of drivers.
yeah, like at any race, someone could be out front leading. Like we saw round one with Spa with Duran, he was out front, just absolutely dominated the field. And then we get to Zandvoort, and it's just completely mismatched again. And so I don't know. I think anyone has a shot at being able to be at the front at any race. And I think SRA as a league, we've done pretty good at getting everyone into a tight little group of where they can have those tight battles and be really competitive with each other.
Definitely. As
I
we
think
see
that's
Kovac take the escape route there. That's not the right route, Chief.
Kovac. This isn't iRacing. That's not how you cool down your tires, bud.
Oh, the memes.
Faisley in the chat is calling up moaning, or mowing, I believe is how you say it. If he actually shows up to a race, he might be fast. So
That's gotta be pretty cool though. That like on any given day, someone new can win D1, can win a race instead of just like the same rotating.
definitely, I think it makes it interesting for anyone watching the race, and it makes it interesting for us drivers. Just not really knowing where you're going to kind of end up and put you in different situations each race. It's quite a bit of fun. Makes you want to come back and just race day after day.
Yeah.
It's cool that it's become organic too. I remember at the beginning we used to apply what we would call success ballasts, try and keep people from winning multiple times, but that was also at a point where we were running 2 divisions. Now, through the wonderful works of the SRA system and all of the other jukes and jives that everybody in the back end at SRA has put together, it's just formed very tight grids. Look at that quality. Everybody was split by what? 2 seconds? 2.5 seconds?
I think
Over 41 drivers? That's crazy.
that's insane.
Not to mention the skill sets are also at in that level of close together too.
Mm-hmm. And as we come down the final straight towards the red blinking lights, I mean, solid light. I knew that. We're gonna get the race started. Will there be a drive-through at the start? Hopefully not. We had one in D4 and it was not fun.
Oh, you see contact in the back of the field. BMW and a Porsche.
Looks like the leaders made it through pretty clean here. Let's see if they can keep going.
Fortunate spins. Wheels locked up, slid backwards, collected the BMW driver.
Martinez.
We have a car stopped in the S's.
Oh
Oh
no.
Oh, lots of
Oh,
contact.
ooh. Who was that? Martinez.
It was Martinez. A little bit unfortunate. See if I can catch it here for us.
Around towards turn 5, he's fighting back and forth with the McLaren. Oh, and he just rode that curb too much.
And then just everyone just piling
Oh.
up. Trying to get around.
Yeah, that's
One for the spin cycle.
It's not pretty. So we're taken back to live. We have Brandon leading the pack, Latifa behind. Lurik gained a position on Kovac, followed by Semedo, Shea, Morrison, Frederickson, Jess Osmond, and Austin Sawyer to wrap up the top 10. So we have some shuffling in the front, but not that much.
Yeah, not too much. It looks like Brandon's running away with it a little bit here. He's pulling a gap on the guys P2, 3, 4. But still a pretty tight battle. Actually, all down the
I think
field.
that might be the goal of free air on a track like this. It's
Definitely.
very hard to drive at a competitive with the car in front of you here.
Looks like we got 3 guys in the pits after lap 1. Almeida, Martinez, and Koski, I believe. All in the pits. Looks like they might be just repairing damage.
Pip catches up with Banks, who appears to have gone off in turn 3 here. Too much of the exit curb. Oh. There we are.
Brandon has increased his lead to 2.1 seconds towards the front of between him and Latufo. That's in 2 laps. That's something.
That is a very good pace at the moment. Looks like
The Tufo's not having an easy time either. Normando's right on the back of this car.
Oh, look at this
What a-
train in the mid pack. Coming out to turn 1.
just a casual. Ooh, there's an off.
Oh.
I'm not.
Oh, and the Honda
Oh,
just
missed.
lost it.
Thankfully got off track.
Is that Guzman potentially here? Let's see if I can catch this.
I just lost it going to turn 1.
Yeah, there's a Ferrari involved in that as well. Might have distracted him a bit.
Fine, guys. Just remember, for points, and there's a drop race. So if something bad happens, just keep racing.
Exactly. A lot can happen in and out.
So it's a long season as well. Like 8 races doesn't seem like a lot, but considering computers can always give issues to people and it's that sort of stuff. Like not everyone's gonna be able to show up to every race, so there's always a chance to gain lots of positions and everything like that in the standings.
Very true.
A lot of tight battles going on in the field right now as well. Seems like almost everyone is half a second behind the next person. It's actually crazy to see so much going on.
Seen 2 overtakes so far, watching the overall listing board, so we're still under 5, but at this pace, we'll be well over.
You would assume. It would be nice. We make for some more content.
Oh,
Oh, there's 3.
there is 3.
Oh,
A little bit of a mistake there from Paula, I believe. Might have been he might have felt us. Oh, a little bit of contact as well in the rear.
We get
Oh,
in draft.
that McLaren's squirrely.
Ooh, it looks like he's got some wing or diffuser damage if he's losing that kind of straightaway speed.
Oh yeah, there's something wrong.
Be able to tell in the last corner. A little bit. A little
The
bit
back
drifty.
end was, yeah, the back end was a little squirrely, but he's sticking it out.
This battle.
Oh. Well maintained.
Board with Andre Lloyd. He's trying to chase down Queso and Hackery. We don't see many Astons these days. Who's Hackery's? Oh, Heishi. Oops, my bad. Who is Heishi's teammate? Probably.
Might.
Well, I'm gonna say it's either Mike Scott up ahead in the Aston or Super Dave, unless his teammate did not show up today. As I say that,
Very
it looks
true.
like Mike Scott made a mistake. Lost 2 positions.
Oh,
no.
oh no. Oh,
Lots of contact going on there. And Cameron does not like that either.
the camera's shaking his head no.
Yeah. Let's see if I can catch this back.
We've
We'll-
got
Sorry, Josh. I think I cut you off there.
no, it's okay. Trying to understand why Nathan Schaefer elected to stop on the track. He still stopped over on the side there.
I just think the Audi
It's
lost
just
it coming out
unfortunate.
from the outside.
Yeah.
Just swung into the. I think Josh Castle cursed this race when he said that this is the cleanest race that should happen.
Ah, man, you say it's clean, dirty stuff happens. You say it's dirty, no overtakes. I don't know.
True.
It's racing. We're just out here to watch.
That's it.
But I gotta say, the liveries this season, beautiful. Do you guys have a favorite so far?
I have personally been liking. I'm trying to remember his name. Brandon's livery, the lead Porsche. Yeah, like
It is.
Yes. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
It is a very good livery. Like how well done they did it. Him and his teammate. It's a very, very nice livery. Just
It
the
is.
quality of it. It might not be everyone's taste, you know, for racing livery, but just the quality of it is so good. Can't be discounted.
No, they did a very good job. And while we're discussing his livery, I think we should point out that he has now increased his gap to Latufo to 3.5 seconds.
Yeah. And just that last lap was the the overall best lap of the race as well. So he's on quite the pace at the moment.
What is... 1 second, Parker. There's a keyboard command for ACC where you can get the full map instead of just the small one.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of that.
It's... Where is it? I found it by accident last week.
If someone in the chat happens to know, let us know and we'll get it swapped over for you.
Yes, please. Please let us know.
In the meantime, I'll keep trying to get us on track action here. Looks like Normdo has closed up a lot on the Tufo as well here. Last couple laps. P2, P3, P4 battles actually very intense since the start of the race. 6 laps in, 7 laps in. Bumper to bumper.
Uh-oh. Who's pretty saucy? He just wrote in chat, my car wouldn't shrift, trans died, I guess good luck everyone.
That's unfortunate.
That's a shame.
Might be Schaefer. There's someone else talking about Schaefer having throttle issues. So
Maybe.
potentially, it's very unfortunate anytime you have to, disconnect from the race due to issues beyond in-game issues.
As another casualty, I mean contestant, comes to the chat and says that they broke their engine during the contact with Peter Reynolds.
How? I
I'm not
didn't
sure.
know that you could break the engines in this game.
I believe if you do take sufficient enough front end damage and the car doesn't when the car shuts off, you may not be able to start it. I've had situations where it almost doesn't start or seems like it doesn't want to start, but I try not to damage my car that much.
There was a driver in the D4 race yesterday whose engine exploded from the start. Like after the formation lap. They put down their foot and the engine just went kaboom.
We had someone in the D1 race like that. I can't remember quite who it was, but their engine like revved up to 26,000 RPM trying to get started, and he had to revert to pit just to fix the issue.
In other words, to all you other aspiring GT3 race drivers, even here a Ferrari powertrain is not safe.
James
I don't know
Riley's
what kind of car
engine
they were
exploded.
driving.
It was a Ferrari. So,
Oh, it was a Ferrari.
It was a Ferrari, so
Even better.
memes are real.
A little bit of an accordion in turn 1 there, but well kept from the driver behind.
Or Santos loses position, but it doesn't look like he's going to give up the second one, which is always good.
We're 11 minutes from the pit window. What do you guys take any sort of strategy to that? Like early, late, depending on a situation? Or is it just kind of windows open and I feel like going in?
Let's let Brooker answer that first.
Honestly, it really depends probably where you are on the track and kind of what's going on. I like to stay out if I have free air, just because I know I can concentrate on driving. I'm not being held up by anyone or anything like that, so I'll stay out as long as possible if I'm in fresh air. But, say I'm stuck behind someone, can't quite get the pass done just due to my own pace or their pace or where they're fast on track, that might change where I'm, kind of what my decision is with pitting. Because if I'm stuck behind them, I'm better off going into the pit, getting that done, and then hopefully getting some clean air coming out after the pits to, undercut them a little bit.
Gotcha. So up until this season, I was battling for like 10th and 9th, so my strat was just, dive right into the pit as soon as it opened, like try to time it if I could. But now recently I've been fighting for podiums, so I've actually been reaching out for people to help me because I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this new position of finding myself towards the front. So I've been told more or less what Brookers. So, you keep driving in clean air and then you dive in towards the end. But I don't know. I'm still learning.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, all over the board. Some tracks I just try and get in early. If it's got like a long pit lane like Spa, I try and get in early as possible. Get back out on the track. Or high tire wear circuits, I like to pit early. Independent of where I am. But based on that strategy call, let's drop you, Broker, into the seat of Normando's Honda NSX in P3. You're 4 tenths behind Latufo in front, and you've got 3 tenths to Kovac behind. You've been that way the entirety of the race. Do you wait for one of them to pit? Do you make your own decision? Or do you just try and jump out of that into clean air?
I think you definitely pit. Um, like Normando and Kovac are obviously quick enough at the moment to stay on the back of Latufo. So honestly, if I was either one of them, I would just take the risk and pit early as soon as you can, and just try to pump out a good lap to undercut them. Um, Especially on a track like Zandvoort, like there's not a lot of passing opportunities, so you kind of have to take those risks and try to make those moves. So if I was either one of them, 100%, as soon as it opens, I'm diving in. Unless you can tell that they're trying to go in that lap, then I stay out. But my main focus would be dive in and try to get something done.
Makes sense. I'm looking across the timing boards and from the drivers that are in clean air, not in clean air. I'm looking to P6, 7, 8, 9. They're lapping just about a tenth or two slower than 3, 4, 5 sitting that close to each other, or 2, 3, 4 sitting that close to each other. That's crazy, driving that kind of pace right against another car. How do you do that? Such a treat to watch.
Definitely is.
Like if I could go out into the D1 race and be doing like, I don't know, for me my optimum pace was a 36 flat. If I could go out and do 36 zeros for the entirety of the race right behind somebody, I would be very proud of myself no matter where I finished.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Honestly, following anyone for an hour at that gap distance is tricky, and it's draining.
To say the least. It's a battle. I don't know if you guys ever go into a little bit of like a background run state. Your brain just kind of defaults to some motions. You kind of zone out a little bit, and all of a sudden your car's oversteering and you've lost the gap. It's tough. I used to have that a lot when I first started racing. Up until, I don't know, I'd say the midpoint of last season. Get to about the 40-minute mark and start to zone off.
Yeah.
Or start to follow a little bit of object permanence, following the car in front of you and not looking for the racetrack. That's a tough thing to learn.
Definitely, just like not focusing on the rear of their car, each and every corner, just trying to keep your eyes moving a little bit. And I think that's maybe what happens sometimes with some people is they get too focused on maybe a car that they're following, and they kind of stop looking at what's going on around them, and that's where they get complacent and start making mistakes and missing braking points, honestly.
Fair enough. Do you think maybe that's what happened earlier on when we saw that Ferrari drive off and then the NSX drift in turn 1? A little bit of staring off at the car that ran off and miss your turn-in point?
Yeah, definitely. I think distractions like that can easily distract someone enough that they miss a braking point, especially when you're trying to be so precise with it and hit it to a finite spot. Any little distraction can just throw you off that amount, and it's easy to make that mistake. So I don't blame them for having that happen. Everyone makes that mistake too. So
we've had a request in chat for you to click Shift plus M to, I guess, enlarge the track map to a full-size map?
Yeah, I was waiting to suggest that.
There we go.
Large chunk is a goat.
Very nice.
We always appreciate the suggestions and the help in the Discord or in the chat and in the Discord as well. Wherever you're at, communicating to us, it's helpful. There's some things we can't see, tell, hear, or notice while we're out here broadcasting. So, thank you.
Yep.
Yep. We always want to make it, you know, as pleasurable for the viewers as possible, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Hopefully, we do that for everyone.
And for anyone who may have caught the D3 race last week, who knows that I was shipped arrow keys because my broadcast control wasn't working. Good news, I somehow got it to work this race. It's not the one being used, but I just wanted to say I finally figured it out. I'm happy. It's been bugging me for a while.
We're all proud of you, man.
It has nothing to do with the race, but I really just, I'm so happy it worked.
Just overall, everybody who stuck around through last week's technical issues. It's the first week of the season. Just got a lot of new people in the booth. Unfortunately, it lined up with a lot of admins being out of town as well, so didn't have as much back-end support as we normally did. But appreciate everybody sticking around, throwing likes, watching, subscribing, following, joining.
Yep.
Because give us a second chance, we come out, we give you a much better one. Although I still think I'd rather go back and listen to Andrew, because I could listen to that man talk over paint drying.
And Andrew's certified goat after what I heard happened. What a man.
Running an entire hour-long broadcast by yourself.
That is, I couldn't imagine doing that, honestly. I would be so overwhelmed with everything going on.
Honestly. Oh, as we see Lorenzo off the track here in the pip.
Let's see if I can. You're gonna grab a replay of that, actually.
I do have it running right now. Oh, a little bit of contact on the exit with another Audi there. I did not catch the number, but fortunately did end up in the wall. Now got himself spun back around safely and facing the right direction. Thankfully, he should be able to hold off and bring that in at the pit window.
Yeah.
Right as you flipped off that battle, Kayat also spun around.
It's a good thing you brought up the pit window because it's nearing. So, what do you think's gonna happen? Do you think are gonna be the first drivers to start pitting?
I'm all over Brooker's mentality, and I think it's going to be everybody who's in traffic. Like, I think Kovac has started to back off a little bit. I don't know if he's, like, his lap times are still looking okay. I don't know if he's running into some damage issues, tire issues, or just not on the pace. But Normando's still on the back of Latufo, so I think he's going to be jumping in. Guys like Shea, Spesh, Lloyd, Constantine. Yeah, just anybody that's immediate traffic is probably going to look for a little shuffle in position.
Yeah. With 35 seconds here until the pit window, it's going to be interesting to see some of these guys coming around on their laps here that have about, you know, that 30 seconds or so left in their lap, to see if they just immediately go in like as soon as it opens, or they do just do that one extra lap and, you know, time it right, try to get an open pit lane going in.
So, Brooker, if we were to take a look at the top three right now, so we have Brandon, Latufo, and Lurik. How long do you think they're gonna stay out for?
Looking at Brandon here, he's got still a couple corners to the last back marker. I would say he's probably going to stay out, and I think Latufo is also going to stay out. There's lots of room to stay in fresh air, but I think Luik is probably going to be the one person from the top 5. I would say that's going to probably pit early, and then I think everyone else is probably just going to run out the pit window. Try and pit as late as possible.
Why would you be the one pitting early compared to the rest of the people in the top 5?
Just to try to get that clean air for the week. It's probably the only reason why I'd pit early there. Other than
Gotcha.
just a little bit of strategy.
Let's see. And Latifa goes into the pits.
Well, instantly wrong.
Oh, now it's kind of that little bit of a limbo period. Go out, push. If your lap time's not really going down that much, do you come in? Like if you can't really improve that much in clean air, do you go take that opportunity to let like the tires cool off, brakes cool off a little bit, come back into it, or do you still just try and maximize clean air? Like in the sense that right now he's currently running 37s, whereas P5 is running 36s, for example. P3 is running 36s.
Ooh. I don't know. That it's kind of tough. I mean, you do get your tires cooled down a little bit going through the pit lane, but at the same time, like it might not cool them down enough to really have an effect on your lap times.
Yeah, because you only stopped for what, 3 seconds?
At most, yeah. So I think if we look at some of the pit times here, you're probably only looking at like maybe 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds at most going through the pit lane. It's not a whole lot of time to cool down your tires.
I see what appears to be either a few people taking. See a few people that definitely took a little bit of damage, or a couple extra liters of fuel, a couple 5 seconds and stuff like that. But I do see a 37-second stop. Super Dave take tires.
Where is Super Dave? In
Super
the...
Dave is currently in 33rd.
Well, that was gonna be my question. Do you think any of these drivers towards the back will go for tires?
You're gonna have a lot of pace to make up the extra 30 seconds and stop, but I don't know. I think there might be one or two people who just kind of say, "Why not?"
Yeah, like
Again, anything can happen.
yeah, I think
Oh,
on that, just with the tires, you are probably gonna have a little bit better pace with changing your tires because Zandvoort's so hard on the tires and you can wear them out super quickly. But I think just the inability to pass should almost maybe sway you against trying to take the tires. Because even if you do have that pace advantage, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to make passes super easily. But I mean, people can gamble and they might be able to make it work. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more people taking tires as well.
I know if I recall correctly, my teammate Philip took tires yesterday, and he was outside the top 10, I believe, running or just in it, and he finished 6th upon taking tires. So, it seems to have some benefit going in for the change. But I believe he also had damage too, so he just put it together.
Many ways to skin a cat, as they say. Just don't kill it.
So it's looking like Al might have lost a position to Luik here under the pits.
Seems like it. Is there a difference in stop time?
Did Luik do his pit?
They did. They've both done their pits, and Al is now half a second behind instead of half a second in front. And then
Interesting.
Kovac, I believe, is coming out of the pits here, or might have. Yep. Unfortunately, couldn't gain a position on either one of them, but is still in that same gap range. So the battle's on now. With the pits done between those three.
So Brandon has who's behind Kovac? Is in 6. So Luik, there's a 30-second gap to first. Do you think Brandon has carved up enough time for him to hit the pits and stay out in front?
I think he just might. The average pit time right now is looking 28 to 31 seconds with 1 liter ish of fuel.
As we talk about that, he is coming into the pits, and there is another battle. I'm not sure if it's lap traffic there. Sorry. Oh, contact as well.
Oh no. Jose Guzman. I believe that's the second time he's gone around at that corner in the last couple laps. That's unfortunate.
Oh, just rode the curb. That
Oh
settles it.
no. Normando takes over the lead of the race.
And Brandon comes out of pits into 4th.
Wow. That's very. He had. I'm not. I wonder what
A
happened
little
there.
bit of a longer stop.
Yeah.
At 9 seconds stopped for 31 seconds in the pit. That's I wonder if maybe he undershot on fuel.
He might have. He might have split his fuel. That might have been why he had such the pace advantage early on. Taking less
Maybe.
fuel.
Could be possible. But a very interesting thing I saw when looking at the statistics over the race is that Substation, Kovac, and Latufo are about 3 to 7 kilometers an hour slower than the next 3 cars in the speed trap. Like sorry, no. My math is wrong. 7 to 12 kilometers an hour slower.
Wow.
That's interesting. There's not a lot of straightaway here, but there's a lot of time where you're spent flat out,
Yeah.
and yet they're
Yeah.
outpacing the cars around them.
Yeah. Wow, can I just say, now that this program works, there's a lot of data.
There
There's
is.
a lot. This is awesome. I enjoy this program.
Sometimes
Hopefully
I
I
wish
can-
everyone else could see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We almost have too much to try and convey over stream at times, but you know we do try our best to get it out to everyone. Is there anyone throughout the field that you guys think has had a pretty good race so far? Maybe that hasn't quite got the screen time they should probably have been getting.
I'm gonna be biased and say Austin Sawyer, the fellow Dadman driver, qualified 10th and is currently qualified 11th and is currently running P9.
That is very nice. Strong performance from D3 champion right there.
Actually, there's quite a few people with a lot of positions gained here.
Yeah.
I believe-
Duarte.
I
The
believe
pip
Jose-
catches up with Duarte. Before he went into the there, he was up 22 positions from where he started.
Oh wow.
That's a very strong drive. I don't recognize him. I'm assuming he's new, especially with the red tag. That's a strong performance coming in new, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Coming out of the pits, still up 9 positions from where he started.
Mr. Fickert here is up 16 positions from his qualifying, so a lot of moves, and that's after his pit stop as well. So a very good run.
Is
so
up
far
how
for him.
many?
16 positions.
16?
Yeah, started 34th on the grid.
And can we get some Fs in the chat for Mr. Mike Scott, who's gone down 24 positions today? After starting 13th, is now riding 7th.
That's very unfortunate for Mr. Scott.
Mr.
Still
Scott.
hanging it out though, by the looks of it.
Yes. Yes. I think now that the pits are closed, I think we should do an obligatory. Well, not obligatory, but let's see if anyone had missed their pit window. Because that could play a factor towards the end of the race.
Don't
Looks
see
like-
anybody.
Yeah, it looks like everyone
Who also missed it?
got their pits in. So it's always a good thing, you know. get rid of the unneeded penalties in the race?
I have been watching Brandon, and he looks to really be struggling out there ever since coming out of the pits. I just watched him go into the grass coming out of turn 11.
Yeah, his last lap at 1:39, just about 2 seconds off the pace. So that little off didn't help him for sure.
Mic check. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
My headset just shut off on me. Apologies.
Classic.
That's a shame.
Classic Logitech. Just kind of saying, no, I don't want to work right now.
Do you guys use mics attached to your that come with your headset, or you guys have a boom mic?
Have an external. I just don't have it set up, as if I've had to move my setup around a few times. So the less arms I have clamped to my desk, the easier it is.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately one of those headset people. Just a comfort thing, and actually kind of like Josh as well, it's a space thing. So
As am I.
Team headset mic.
headset mic. Hashtag.
Yes, sir.
Hit us up on Twitter with those hashtags. Hashtag headset. Hashtag other mic. I don't know what the other hashtag is. Doesn't matter.
Ever since Lurik has taken first, he's been keeping at least a second gap to Latifa.
Yeah. Very similar lap times as well. Only a tenth or two difference between their laps. So if he's able to hold that, that's gonna be a pretty good spot.
Nate Spetch with some strong late pace. His last lap was a 36.6. That's a second. That's 1.3 seconds faster than Latufo, who is the fastest of the top 4 on the last lap.
It was a very good lap.
So with over 20 minutes left, he is 6 seconds back of the car in front, but I feel like he may have a chance of closing himself up to a top 5.
Yeah, looking at
Good late race battle to watch there.
yeah, potentially I think he's doing the quickest laps out of anyone on track right now, and Samido, the guy he's chasing. His last lap wasn't maybe representative of his times, but yeah, could be catching a couple seconds per lap. That should leave him with plenty of time to try and make a move before the end of the race.
Are you a opportunistic overtaker, or do you like to plan things?
That's a good
Yeah, I try to
question.
do a little bit of mix of the both, but I definitely prefer to plan things out a few corners in advance, maybe even a lap in advance. Especially some of the D1 guys, it's hard to read whether it's an opportunity or if they're about to take a line that's going to be 4/10 faster than yours.
That's a really good question. I would say I'm both, mainly because sometimes I don't know what the person in front of me is gonna do. So if I plan ahead, let's say I plan like a couple corners ahead and I set myself up, but let's say going into turn 1, they just give me a gap that I can't refuse to take, then I'll take it.
Fair enough.
It's too good of a deal to refuse.
Yeah, as some race car driver that people like to reference, I don't know who he is, once said something about if there's not a gap, or if there's a gap and you don't go for it, you're not a race car driver.
Yeah, I heard he was some like third string F3 driver.
Was it Mario Kart?
Maybe.
Might have been Luigi, I think Luigi.
What about you, Brooker? How do you like to overtake?
I would say I'm more of an opportunistic overtaker. Um, my style is I tend to just try to be as close as possible to the person in front of me and just make them nervous. So, part of racing's partly mental. So anytime you can get in the head of the person you're either following or chasing down or anyone like that, I think you have an upper advantage on them, or upper hand advantage. So, I'll try to do a little bit of fake here and there, make it look like I'm trying to make a move when I'm actually not, and see if I can throw them off. They're driving a little bit and see if I can force them into a mistake, and then try to make a pass from there. I think just with how close the pace is between us Division 1 drivers this season, you're really not going to make a pass on merit. So it's going to come down to someone making a mistake or anything like that where there's an actual opportunity. Maybe using a lapped car to your advantage as well.
I've seen that. I've seen that a lot this season. People using the blue flag traffic as not like a bit of a blocker, but a little bit of a pawn in their game of chess to try and work past a car. It's a pretty smart tactic, and I mean, there for the taking.
Yeah. If you can get up alongside the person and then use that lap car to kind of box them in and make them lift, then all for it. It's a clean move. It happens a lot, and you took advantage of the situation that you're in.
Exactly.
Just kind of watching this lead battle here. Kovac has been able to close up. I believe Latufo and Kovac are teammates, so you might not see a battle there for P2, P3. P2, P3, but maybe they'll do a little bit of tag team on Luik here in the next 17 minutes.
It's very impressive. They've closed right up on the back of him. That's going to be a lot of pressure on that Honda for the next bit of laps.
I think Louis can handle it. Maybe.
Oh, I have no doubts. I know he's a very strong driver. He's very, very capable. But yeah, that's menacing, especially knowing that their teammates are in the same conglomerate, working together. Like, you're fighting two people. You're not fighting one car that might battle the car behind it and drop off a little bit. They're going to be persistently right behind that Honda unless somebody makes a mistake.
Are you saying that they are doing team orders?
I am saying they're doing team orders. But I'm sure that Toto will let them race once they make do with this Honda.
Oh, sure.
I think that's super cool that it's come out this season. A lot of little conglomerates or groupings going on of multiple teams across different divisions. Kind of like privatized coaching, I guess you could say. Just working together with guys who are a little bit faster than you or a little bit below your pace, and everybody helps everybody find something. I know personally I've even learned a few things from the guys in lower divisions. So it's a great learning experience for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I like it because it also gives the opportunity, even the people who are new, to join a group and, get more comfortable with other people. Meet some new people.
100%.
Yeah. I think SRA is just about, building those relationships with people. Maybe not relationships, that's the wrong word, but friendships with people and seeing who you get along with and who you enjoy racing with. I think just having that conglomerate system this year, or having, allowing it, has really opened up some of those community building aspects that we like.
Definitely. It's a personal favorite aspect of SRA for me is the amount of, not even community focus, but just the overall amount of community that is present within this group. Like, it's almost more like just 700-800 friends that also happen to play the same game than 700 people trying to compete against each other. Like, it's a lot of great people, a lot of people I can call friends, It's a great place. Come join us. SimRacingAlliance.com.
There should be a couple links as well around on stream.
Yes.
So
There's also a Discord.
There is a Discord, which you should be able to find links to either in the chat, in the description, or on the league website. If you're not Discord friendly, you can also still keep up with almost absolutely everything that goes on in the league through there, as well as everything that does get recorded or broadcasted ends up on our YouTube channel as well, including the Thursday night coaching sessions, which this week's helped me a lot. I don't know about you guys.
I sadly was not able to be at the coaching session last week.
And you didn't visit the Sim Racing Alliance YouTube channel to catch up on the content that you missed?
Of course I did. I would be so sad if I missed Duran's beautiful voice.
you know, Duran has been a great coach over the last couple seasons, and he's definitely helped improve a lot of people around you know, the Discord and the league. So
Yeah.
coaches are always
Gotta
up there
give
to help.
respect where it's due.
For two? Anyway, a big surprise is, I would have to say, Brandon, that after his pit came out fourth and is still fourth, and is 8 seconds from the leader.
It looks like he might be struggling with his tires a little bit. Maybe all that pushing early on, and if he did a split fuel strategy, he might have burnt up his tires. I know that happened to Cass's last night in the Division 1 race, and he was talking about that in the Discord afterwards, where his tires were just gone by the second stint. So
And he did the split fuel tactic.
it looked like he might have, because I think he had a little bit longer of a pit stop. Maybe he can comment on that, but I know he was doing insanely quick laps in the beginning stint, and then just in the last stint he had no tires left. So maybe, Brandon is under that same situation, especially with running the Porsche. It's possible.
Definitely. That gap from P1 to P2 just opening up, closing down, opening up, as Latufo and Kovac almost come together in turn 11.
Guys, you're supposed to be teammates.
That's what I thought. Maybe there is no team orders here.
I
Tufo's
guess
peeking
not.
at his inside mirrors.
Yeah, that didn't
You may
quite
think
look
the
like a
battle
team
is
orders
P2.
pass. That's for sure.
Yeah, but that teammate battle just let Loic increase that gap by another half second.
Just sitting there going, keep it up, keep battling, I like it. Looking back at Nate Bet, he's down to 1.9, 2 seconds to the car in front of him. Still got 10:44 left in the race. What do you think? Is he going to make that P5? I know it's definitely one thing to catch a car and a whole different other thing to be able to pass.
I think he can do it. If he's running, he just ran a 36.9 and the driver in fifth ran a 37.3. I think he can do it.
Yeah, he's been showing a very strong pace there at high 36s, low 37s. And Samito ahead is under the same conglomerate, but I'm sure there'll be a little bit of he's faster than you, let him pass going on there.
A little Porsche on
Pleasure.
Porsche action with Cranky and Osborne here as well.
As we reach the final 10 minutes of the race, how much do you think blue flags are going to affect the outcome, the top three? Do you think the blue flag drivers are going to get out of the way quickly enough that gap that Loic has built for himself is going to, he's going to be able to keep it up? Or do you think the blue flags are going to limit his gap and bring Kovac closer to him.
I think at this point, Louis is pretty much in mistake to lose it territory. His pace has been more consistent than the Porsches behind him. Even though the gap's been up and down, it's the Porsches going a little bit faster, a little bit slower, a little bit faster, a little bit slower. I think as long as he can keep his head down, this is his race. The blue flag shouldn't play too much of a deal because as long as he gets past them at a good spot on track, and I'll leave it at that. The guys behind him are then going to have to deal with the blue flags, so it should equalize itself out. But I think it may have an effect on 2-3. I don't know if it'll have an effect on the lead.
It doesn't look like it. I think he's got one more car here as a blue flag, and then it looks like quite a bit of free track after that to the end of the race. So I think I kind of agree with you, Josh. That one.
That's a formidable blue flag pass right there. But going down the inside and having the blue flag car meet you on the way out, that's a situation of now that car who's chasing you down also has to deal with somebody into their braking zone, compromise their line entry speed. Just like that, the gap's back up almost to a second and a half.
Yep. As we look down the rest of the pack, do we see any drivers? And as I said that, Lloyd spins himself out. Do you see any battles happening? Any last minute fights for positions?
Oh, do not break in the grass,
my.
kids.
Yeah.
I do not see any current battles. Schaefer's, Duarte and Super Dave are dealing back and forth a little bit.
The Cranky and Osborne battle is still going on. Half a second between them. Two Porsches going at it. Reynolds, Queso, and Fickert here in a tight little battle. Three of them for position.
Oh wow, there's also a battle for 27th between Super Dave and Duarte, and it'll be interesting to see if Super Dave did in fact take those new tires and see if those tires are helping.
There's definitely a couple battles going on that will be interesting to see whether they account to anything.
And down the inside, almost makes contact with the BMW. But you can see, I think it's almost definite he took tires now. Look at the difference in that mid-corner and exit speed, minus that bobble there. And that's an Aston Martin that's not supposed to have competitive acceleration.
No. So he runs into the braking zone side by side. Oh, quite clean through there, surprisingly.
He's trying he tried to push, he tried to put his elbows out against that Beamer.
Look at this battle. A blue flag and some non-blue flags.
This is Specht and Smito here. Teammates going at it. I wonder if they're just going to battle it out.
Edge down the inside.
Oh, he's got, yeah. He should have him, and he does.
That's that P5.
That was the pace advantage we're looking at as well. Coming to the end of the race, so he's able to get it done with 5 minutes left, even though it was his teammate. Still able to make the move and get the position.
Now, is that difference in pace tires, or is that just maybe he conserved his tires enough in the beginning? Because that's a significant difference.
Yeah, he's got a lot of grip right now.
Yeah, looking at the pit times, it doesn't look like there's a difference. 8 seconds and 7 seconds, respectively, for both of them. So I don't think it was a tire difference. It might just be a general car balance. You know, you might have a little bit better feel for the car on low fuel than with high fuel. But then again, it could be a tire thing as well.
And now he gets to stare down P4. through all that battling, who came right up in front of him.
Yeah, battle
Ooh,
for
that's
P1
close.
here. I haven't been watching the gap, but it is between the top three. It's 1 second now. And Specht is closing in on Brandon as well for P4 here. 0.3 of a second.
Oh yeah, there's something wrong with his Porsche. It does not look as he doesn't look as confident as he did earlier in the race.
Putting his nose down the inside, Kovac. This is going to get real tight in the last 3 minutes here.
I think we might get a drag race.
Yeah.
Also towards the back, Hartman's fighting Allen for P14.
Looks
Up
like
on board with that in the pip.
Samita was able to get by Brandon as well for P5. Except
Oh, and Smito spins.
let's see if I can get that. Unfortunate. See what happened there. Oh,
Oh, straight on.
straight on.
Oh
Looks like
no.
he missed the braking zone a little bit. Might not have lost too much out of that, thankfully.
Yeah, he missed it just a just a smidge. Just a little bit.
Keeping on this P1, P2 battle here. Looks like Latufo dropped off a little bit, might have made a little bit of a mistake. So it's now only a 2-car battle with the last 2 minutes here.
Place your bets.
Place your bets, that's right.
I'm going with VTEC power.
Yeah, I'm a JDM fanboy, so I'm going VTEC as well.
I'm going to say Porsche, because I'm a Porsche man myself. You know, I think it's shown over the last little bit. Kovac's maybe have a little bit more pace in it, especially in Sector 2. So, you know, I'll split the vote. Well, not split it, but you know, go opposite of you guys. Show some love to the Porsche. I do want to give a shout out to Specht again. I know he's come back a bit here, but up 10 positions from his qualifying, P14, to being P4 at the end of the race.
That's big.
It's very big.
Oh, and here's the final lap.
Ooh,
Oh,
very close.
oh. I thought that was going to be the leaders taking each other out. This isn't NASCAR.
I see Kovac. How do you say his name? Kovac? I sincerely apologize. He might get a little aggressive towards the end.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make up a little bit of time difference here in Sector 2. Oh, it looks like he had quite a bit understeer there. Might,
The Honda's quite good in Sector 2.
looks like he's really pushing to try and make it here, but just running out a little bit of time. So, barring any issues in the last couple corners here, I think Luik is going to hold on. Or Luis, or however you say it.
Luik. Yeah, here's our resident French commentator who enjoys speaking French during the race.
Oh, did Kovac run out of fuel?
Possibly.
Did he?
Unless he just gave Latufo the position back at the end of the race there.
Maybe. Wait, let's take a look.
Brandon coming across the line here for P5. Fortunately, fallen down from pole position. Still a good result for him. Smido in P6. Very close battle coming across the line for P7, P8. Let's see if I can. Couple battles here. Let's see. Couple battles here with Reynolds and Fickert and Queso for 18th, 19th, and 20th coming to line. Maybe a bit of a drag race. Not quite from Queso to get the position on Reynolds, but still. Ooh.
Oh,
A little bit of a crash at the end of the race there.
and
Cars parked on the track.
Well, that was a good race. That was a good one.
That was a very good race to watch. A lot of on-track battles.
Yeah.
to say the least.
Are there?
I think the under 5 was a little bit incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
predictions were not what we thought.
No.
That's for certain.
And while we wind down the stream, is there anyone you guys want to bring up to the box? I'm thinking Tariq, and then possibly Spect.
Well, I'm looking to try and get the podium drivers from about the gold and silver classes here. Trying to see who I can find in the chats for us.
I found Tariq is down in the admins. Do you want me to bring him up?
So,
Yeah.
let's do these.
See who we can bring up here. Do you guys have any overall comments for the race just before? You're also kind of working on bringing someone up.
I was kind of surprised by the number of the number of incidents that happened, both spinning and some aggression towards the early parts of the race. But it seemed to have calmed down towards after the pits.
Yeah, it seemed like after the pits, everyone kind of got into a routine and just tried to either keep their position or push a little bit more. But it seemed like most people were just content on trying to hold their positions and not give away what they worked for in the first half of the race.
Definitely. Looks like we might have Al here to come on, Mr. Latufo. Al, welcome to the commentator's booth. What
Thank
a great
you.
race tonight, bringing home P3. How was it?
Yeah, it was P2 actually. I let my
P2.
teammate by. Yeah, I was letting Kevin by to see if
What
he
a
could catch
nice
up here.
guy.
Yeah, and then we didn't do it by the last lap, so we kind of gave up on it and switched spots again. And we're really happy with the points we got today. We really tried there for first, but just wasn't enough. Loic was really quick today. Brandon was really quick today too. And most of the front of the field there was really giving us a lot of run for our money, but we're really just happy to get the points and keep it nice and clean today, and this is good for the team.
Definitely, what a strong performance. We were curious what happened there. We had just missed it. We're like, did somebody run out of fuel, or? But that's cool. You guys did a little bit of a switcheroo.
It almost got a little ugly there. I went a little bit wide. He told me like 1 second before the turn to go a little bit wide, and I did it, and he almost ran into me, but kept it clean, regardless, and here we are. So we're happy.
Very happy for you, man. Great job.
Thanks, man.
That was a great race.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Alrighty. As we bring up someone else, Showtime 0212 just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you
Wow.
guys.
Thank you, Showtime. Louis,
Thank you.
welcome to the chat. Great job on the win today. How was that race?
Uh, it was intense, I gotta say. I wanna thank Latufo and Kevin for dragging me on the ass, I gotta say. We're on my ass for the whole race, man.
Yeah, they
Uh,
were very close to you.
yeah, and
Yes.
I think I was lucky to undercut Latufo and Sabshishin. I don't know what happened to Sabshishin at pits, but I undercut him. Whew! First win, my god.
How's it feel? How's it feel?
It feels incredible. I was just so stressed. I'm sweaty as balls.
Wow. Do we
It's
have
incredible.
to? That's awesome. Congratulations. We watched you
Yeah, and
get
my
that
teammate
win.
my teammate Austin got a P9 and then we got another one in Dadmans who got a win in a D3, I think, yeah. So
What a great team haul tonight.
good that work.
You got it.
Louis, I got
Yes,
a
sir.
question for you. Did you
Yes?
think after the first stint before the pits that you had a chance at the victory tonight with
Not
Brandon
e
running away with it a bit?
Not even. I just wanted to go into maybe P4 podium maybe. I just wanted to keep my P3 and the chance got me to have P1. So yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations on the P1, and hopefully you have enjoy the victory, I guess.
Thank you. And thanks
Yeah,
for your commentary, boys.
go do a shoey.
Oh yeah. I gotta record myself doing Shui now, yeah.
Yeah,
Victory shoeies. Can't wait to
do
see
a
it.
shoey.
Yeah.
Alrighty here. Let's see if we can get our silver winner, Nate Spetch, up into chat. Nate,
Yes.
welcome to the commentator's booth.
Howdy, part.
P1 in the silver division.
I don't know.
Quite the drive there we were watching you on. How was that?
I don't know where the pace comes from. It's just when it switches from quali to a race session, my throttling is smoother, my braking is better, my mistakes I make less mistakes. It's just so bizarre. I don't know where that came from. I was running like mid 36s the entire race. No idea where
Nate,
that came from.
Nate, it got to the point where I asked if you had gone in and swapped tires because of your pace
No.
towards the end. I was like, this is amazing. And we checked the times and you had this, you're consistent with everyone else. You just took fuel.
Yeah, I took 5 liters. I don't know if this helped at all, but instead of using TC2 at the start, I used TC3 and then kind of coasted into the corners, especially those first few laps, because if you blister the tires, it's going to really get bad quickly. So I tried to kind of be nice to the tires, and they were nice back to me, clearly.
Definitely. We were watching that pace and thinking that if it wasn't a track like Zandvoort and it was a little bit wider out here, you might have had pace to make up even more positions. You were
I mean,
lapping almost 2 seconds from the pacing from the guys up front. Like
seriously?
it's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
high 37s, low 38s up there by the end of the
Yeah.
race.
I mean,
Like
I
you
don't
you
know
had
where
some
that came from.
very competitive pace throughout this race. You should be proud of yourself.
Crew chief kept saying, he's like, "You're setting the pace. You're setting the pace." I'm like, "I don't know what that means, Jim, but thanks."
No, but by the time
Fastest
you,
car on track by a margin.
Yeah.
yeah, by the time you passed your teammate, I think you outlapped him by like half a second just when you passed him, and like the lap before was like 8/10 up. So
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know where that comes from. It just happens.
Whatever
Um,
you've been doing pre-race, don't change it, man.
well,
Whether it's the Wheaties or it's the ramen,
I
keep
don't
it up.
I don't even know what it was. Was it like half a LaCroix that I had? Like
Half a LaCroix every race. Let's go.
half of a cherry blossom LaCroix. Those taste like lip gloss, by the way. Do not buy them.
well, if it helps, it helps.
Right. Now it's my shoey drink. Eventually.
Really?
If I ever get to that point. Hopefully. God willing. But Yeah, that was a really good race. Really clean too. Blue flags were a lot better. So yeah, thanks for putting it on, boys.
That's
Hey,
good.
thanks for putting on the show for us to put out
Hey,
there, man.
I'm happy I could do anything of value.
On to next week, eh?
All right. Yep. Monza, right?
Monza.
Bonza.
All right.
Good fun.
That'll be tricky in the McLaren, but
Definitely.
see, we'll make it work.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you around.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Welcome.
And we have Samito here. I think is going to be our last interview. Samito,
Hey, hey.
great job out there taking P2 in the silver class. How was that race for you?
It was intense. I think like first 4/5 of the race were kind of chill, but then at the very end, I'm not very experienced with back markers. Things got a little hairy, so I had to bring it home at the end. But it was a lot of fun.
Looked like you had a few incidents there near the end. Were tires starting to get to you, or a little bit of just a little bit of track?
I think yeah, the tires a little bit, but it was also kind of like me having a hard time controlling the wanting to do something about the guy ahead and not really driving all that well in the process. I think I just ran out of talent by the end.
That's
Yeah.
a keyboard.
Yeah, that was definitely a keyboard. Was there anything you maybe thought you would have done a little bit differently this race? You know, maybe try to make up a couple more positions if you could, or I know you talked about the back markers there, but anything else beside that, maybe strategy wise or something?
I think strategy-wise, it went pretty well. Like I was close to a Mercedes, close to the pit window. I kind of things went the way I wanted them to go. Near the end, I just didn't have the pace compared to Nate, and the Porsche was right in front of us. So Nate was able to get through and get the Porsche, and I was hoping I could get him too. And I think like with a little bit more of a cool head, I might have done it. But I'm just happy to make it through the end without any incident.
Nice. Yeah. Are
Good.
you? Oh, I was gonna say, are you looking forward to next week as well? Or I think Nate told us there at the end that he's not super excited for it in the driving the McLaren. But how do you feel about next week?
This is my first championship, so this has been a ton of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Whatever comes.
Well, it's awesome having you out there. It's great watching your race, man. You get a lot of pace. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
think that about wraps it.
I think
That's it?
so. Lucas, do you want to take us out here? And yeah.
Sure. So that, as Josh said, that about wraps up week 2 here at Zandvoort. We hope you guys could join us next week for Monza, same time at 9 o'clock. Have a good night, everyone.
Take her easy.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your nights.